We're now joined from our Pretoria studios by the spokesperson of the National Prosecuting Authority, Nathi Mncube. Good evening, Nathi, and welcome to the program.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers.
Now, Nathi, what's the process or the steps that will need to be followed from this point forward?
Well, the first step is that we have to prepare our papers, which we are busy with at this point in time. We will then have to file those papers with the Registrar of the High Court. The application for leave to appeal will then have to be heard. If it's granted, we will then, of course, wait for the matter to be heard at the Supreme Court of Appeal. So that will all depend on whether the application that will be lodging with the court will be successful or not.
Now, what sort of time frames are we looking at?
Well, we don't really have the time frame, but we have undertaken that we will try to speed up the process and lodge the papers as soon as possible. We think we should be able to do that within the next 6 or 7 days from now on, and hopefully the latest should be the Monday, the 3rd of November 2014.
Is Judge Masipa's interpretation of murder on Dolus Eventualis the bone of contention here?
Well, we are not going to disclose our arguments at this point in time. As I've said earlier, that we have not lodged our papers. It will become evident in our papers what is the bone of contention and which aspect of the law you're going to argue and why we're arguing that way. Safe to say that, of course, as we all know, that as NPA you can only appeal on the question of law. And of course, that is what we are doing at this point in time. But also, we are not just appealing the conviction, we are also appealing the sentence. So we are going to make sure that when we go before Judge Masipa to argue for the leave to appeal, that we are prepared, we are well prepared, and of course, we are able to to present a very sound argument in law before her.
Now, Nathi, what sort of judgment would be suitable for this case in particular? What is the NPA looking forward to?
Well, we have to look back at what we charged him with initially. We had charged him with Mr. Pistorius with premeditated murder, and of course, when we were arguing, you would recall that our argument was on whether he should be convicted or not was that he should be convicted of murder. Of course, we did say after he was acquitted on the charge of murder and only convicted on culpable homicide, we did indicate that, we respected that decision, but that we felt that we held a different view and we thought that the outcome would have been different. We have then, had the matter finalized on the 20th of October. We indicated again that we had, we wanted to sentence at least a minimum of 10 years for the culpable homicide, and the reasons for that was that we felt that Mr. Pistorius was grossly negligent in the manner that he committed the offense. So our view was that the only suitable sentence was 10 years, at least a minimum of 10 years imprisonment. So we got half of that, and we did not get a conviction on premeditated murder. We think that, as I said, we do have grounds in law to appeal the conviction and the sentence.
Now, Nathi, if the appeals court rules in the NPA's favor, will Oscar Pistorius' jail term automatically be lengthened? What is the process thereafter?
Well, we do not want to jump the gun. I think what we want to do right now is to make sure that we succeed with the leave to appeal, and when that is granted, we'll then wait to, for the matter to be heard at the Supreme Court of Appeal. But of course, in the event that we are successful with this move, it means that the sentence will ultimately have to change. But as I said, if that doesn't happen, we're still going to go and argue that the sentence that was imposed, in our view, is not an appropriate one. When one takes into account that he was convicted of culpable homicide, but he was grossly negligent, and according to the judge, he actually his act bordered on dolus eventualis.
Thank you so much, Nathi, for joining us.